Hi, I'm Steve Sharapa.
Hi, I'm Brennan Ray, and you're watching Inside the Nest.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Nest. This weekend, the women's basketball team hit the road and faced Stevens. The Redhawks struggled the entire afternoon, losing by a score of 69 to 54. Montclair State shot 38% from the field and 2 of 12 from behind the arc. It wasn't the start to the season the team wanted, but an encouraging note was the return of junior guard Nickie Carter to the starting lineup. Junior guard Nikki Carter is a must-watch star for the women's basketball team. She was off to a hot start her freshman year, averaging 17 points per game and even hitting a career high of 32 against Rutgers University Camden. She won NJAC Rookie of the Week 3 times, NJAC Player of the Week, and made first-team All-NJAC as well as first-team All-Atlantic Region. She was even named captain right after the season finished.
The difference between my freshman and sophomore year, I think freshman year, I didn't really have a lot of responsibility, I guess you could say. I just came in and my role was to score. That was really it. I wasn't very good at defense.
I think Nikki just gains more and more confidence. She's always been super skilled, but her defense has gotten so much better, and she really understands the game of basketball, but she's starting to learn how to create for others and gain connections with her teammates on the court. So, yeah, I think that every day she gets a little bit better.
Carter's sophomore season saw her numbers decrease, and she only started one of the 10 games that year. Just hitting her stride, Carter suffered an injury which derailed it all.
Going into my sophomore year, I got injured right before the season, so I was in a boot 4 months before the season. So going into my sophomore year, I was really out of shape, and mentally I was not really in the headspace. So it was kind of hard, and I was also taking on the responsibility of now being a captain. So my role was a lot different, and there was a lot more expected of me. I got out of the boot 3 days before the season started. And then also I had back injuries, made the recovery a little bit more difficult, but overall the rehab was just mostly getting back into shape and strengthening my body again to be able to do what I wanted to do.
From freshman starter to injured sophomore in recovery, Carter had to change how she looked at what success was.
I feel like people put a lot of emphasis on who's starting, who's finishing, but in reality it's just how you perform overall in the game. I was able to work on my relationships more with my teammates because they were there for me when I needed them. I was able to develop my relationship with coach because we had our ups and downs and we talked through it. I try to push myself as best as I can in practice in order to motivate other people to do their best. I can't hold anyone else accountable if I'm not holding myself accountable.
Junior forward Sanaya Myers has seen Carter grow as a player and a leader, having been teammates since middle school, but some of that growth is more visible than others.
Well, for starters, her shot definitely got a lot better. In middle school, she was more of a driver. I didn't really see her drive that much. But in all seriousness, you can definitely see the confidence grow from Nikki, and then just overall the leadership role. She's been a captain for 3 years now, and you can just see each year her leadership skills get better and better. She's someone that's always there to push you, whether you're moving a little too slow and she wants you to go a little faster. She does it in the most respectful way, I feel like. She wants the best for everyone on the team, so she's always pushing everyone. She knows what everyone can do, so she always wants the best for everyone.
Be on the lookout for Nikki as she'll be in action for the Redhawks home opener against Ramapo on December 1st at 6 p.m. in Panzer.
This week begins a new series for the Redhawks Sports Network called Talon Talk, where we sit down with the best and brightest that Montclair Athletics has to offer. To kick things off, head women's basketball coach Karin Harvey. Here's a look.
Let's talk about this season. You're coming off a COVID year last year, a shortened season. Everything was different. Now you get back. How much different are things, and what are some of the advantages and some of the challenges that you'll face this season?
Well, I'll say that we're still feeling the effects of it. It's interesting. I underestimated the impact that year had, not only on our current players, but our incoming freshmen. I think for everyone, coaches and players, to sort of get back into the flow of things. But obviously, we're very excited. We don't play home until December, so right now we're kind of trying to be road warriors and look forward to that first home game. But I think that's going to be really cool.
And I have to ask about last year. You guys make it to the championship game, fall to NJCU after 2 years ago going down the road and having the same fate.
Yeah.
How much of a chip does that give you guys on your shoulder, and how much are you thinking about that going into the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think about it every day. And I know they're thinking about it. I'm almost a little like, I cannot believe we lost 2 championships in a row. And we had both those games, won. You know, you asked me earlier, one of the things that I've seen change, and I think student athletes have changed a little bit in some respect, and finding new ways to what motivates them and what gets them, you know, to play their best and to play their hardest and to be able to rise to the challenge without, you know, being afraid of failing.
And when it comes to the players, are they on the same page with you? Do you hear it amongst them?
Yeah, that's all I talk about. Yeah, they want to win a championship, especially this senior class. They'll be the only senior class I've coached that hasn't won a championship if they don't win one.
Wow, that's some pressure.
Yeah, that's a little pressure. I put it on them too. I was like, come on, it's trying to make me look bad. People are going to think I'm losing it.
And talking personnel-wise, last year you had Julius Sutton and Nickie Carter back, but Nickie was still dealing with that lingering injury. So now you finally get the two of them on the court together healthy. How deadly is that scoring duo?
That's one of my favorite things going on right now on our team is the relationship that those two have. They weren't close before. They really weren't. And when I feel like I took this player and I took this player and I said, you two are going to be best friends and captains together and you're going to lead the team. And they've sort of risen to the challenge. They've done a great job, and you can see that they have a nice connection and really a great friendship that they might not have had otherwise. So I think that, you know, they're both going to have to perform at a high level for us to win a championship, or for us just to win a game.
And talking about Kendall Hodges.
Yeah, that's the other piece. Yeah. She's great. Yeah, she's got a great personality, a lot of energy, that one. She hops around like a little Energizer bunny, and you know, I thought it was interesting. I was having a conversation with a coach the other day, and he was asking me about my team. He's like, oh, no, your best player, you know, your point guard. And I was like, wait, what? But I thought it was interesting because that's how people see her, you know, from the outside is she's a great communicator. She is very positive, and she's become a really good motivator, and she's learning how to lead. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun to see how her game develops over the course of the next season.
What are the expectations for this group?
I think the expectations are to win a championship, but I have to tell you, Jack, I don't think that that's where we can start right now. Like, I don't think we're close to that yet. I just watching the game last night, Stevens and TC&J, and I was like, these guys look better than us. But I think we got a long way to go to kind of make all the pieces work together and click. But I think this group is invested, and I think that they're going to put the time in. And I wouldn't want to play us in February, I don't think.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us here on the Red Hawks Sports Network as the 1-1 Montclair State Redhawks welcome the 2-0 Valley Forge Patriots to town.
He's clearly not okay with taking.
Lambert a 3-ball. He's got it! Kareem Lambert his third triple of the night.
I think it's really been a team effort for the Red Hawks, which has been Darian Bradford.
Holbrook's 3-ball is good. Grant Holbrook's first points as a Red Hawk. See if they take a conversation on that one. Cooper heading to the lane, lays it in with the right.
You see the defense start shifting over. Here's a wild pass.
Looking up court to Irby, comes away with it. Blocked by Williams, rebound Eck. Here go the Red Hawks in transition. Lambert driving in, kicks out Henry a corner three. It's good! Panzer Athletic Center is on its feet. Cooper on the far side wing, driving baseline. Looking to kick out. Oh, great feed to Jackson, who lays it home. Henry on the other end pulls a three. Too strong. Holbrook the offensive board. Nice feed to Henry, and Price ends up being the beneficiary. Montclair State going to win this one 115-73.
I mean, our offense is always predicated on playing fast, getting quick shots up, so I think we really executed the game plan today. All of us were finding our teammates, and everybody was ready to shoot. And we were really active in our pressure, so we got a lot of steals and a lot of open, easy layups.
The men's basketball team took to the road for the first time this season on Saturday, but their offense felt right at home, hanging on to a 107-106 victory over Centenary. It's the first time since just the 2013-2014 season that the team has hit the century mark in back-to-back games. 6 Redhawks finished in double digits, but it was Keon Price leading the way with a career-high 28. Irving Callender also had 22 points while collecting 15 boards, marking his third double-double of the year. From a great Redhawk performance this past weekend to one of the greatest players in program history, Tommy Foster has the story on Gian Paul Gonzalez.
Didn't matter, averaging almost 30 points a game. Didn't matter being a first-team All-American. If someone would say, hey, he was a good player, but he was a better person, I don't know, man, that got, and I don't mean to get emotional, man, but that was like, yeah. Like, you hear players say that, like, they want to be known as a good person, a good man. But when he said that, I felt, yeah, I did everything I came to accomplish here at Montclair State.
Gian Paul Gonzalez, a 2003 to 2006 Hall of Famer and former NCAA basketball first-team All-American forward at Montclair State University. But you may not know him from his time as a Red Hawk. He's more known for being a trailblazer of inspiration to the Giants' Super Bowl win in 2012, founder of Hope Plus Future, and now being a motivational speaker across the country.
Gym's gotten a lot better since I was here. I'll put it that way. It's awesome being back, and it brings back a lot of great memories. I remember I'd come here, I'd shoot 500 shots, and as crazy as it sounds, I'd go to Sprague Library. I didn't have a dorm on campus my first year here, and I would just hang out, study, read my Bible in the back, and take naps because no one would go back by the journals. And I remember running laps around this gym my senior year, and I remember literally counting how many practices I had left as a senior and saying, man, when I take off that jersey in that locker room right down there, I never want it to be said of myself, I wish I gave a little bit more. I want to give everything I have, and whether it's the last time I take off that jersey and I never put a jersey on again because no one signs me or whatever the case may be, I know I gave everything. It's that old adage of being, wanting to say, oh well instead of what if.
Whether it was being inducted into the Hall of Fame or even being regarded as the best basketball player to grace Montclair State, Gonzalez refuses to give credit to himself.
My uncle would sit right there, and he was a diabetic, and he had both legs amputated. And so he had to pull up his Cadillac, all the way onto that pavement over there to get to the games. And he was at every single home game. His name was Edward Gunderson, and he paid my car insurance. And that's what allowed me to drive here at 5 o'clock in the morning and get 500 shots before practice.
When Gonzalez left Montclair State University, he became a high school teacher in Union City, New Jersey. But his path in life changed on December 23, 2011, when he received an opportunity to speak to the New York Giants about being all in. He gave them actual poker chips, and this very speech is what motivated the New York Giants to win it all.
I mean, honestly, I didn't think it was for real. I was like, man, why would the Giants run here for a 9th grade world history teacher? I'm a basketball player. I'm not even a football player. That's my thing. But, it was that message of commitment. The biggest point I was trying to, share with the Giants that night is let's give everything. We weren't created to go halfway. I know it's safe. We can make excuses when we go halfway and say I wasn't really trying, which is true, but give everything. Win or lose, life or death, give everything we have, and then, let God take care of the rest.
Being all in is a lifestyle and a habit, something similar to Coach Potts and the Montclair men's basketball motto, habits.
I think as a former player, I think the daily habits of college kids aren't the greatest. So we try to use that to get them to understand, hey, we're trying to change some ways that you currently operate, trying to add some value to your life and make you a better student, make you a better basketball player, make you a better person.
There's so many things being built here that you're doing that I love that are going to translate not just as a basketball player, but as a branch manager, as a father, as a brother. And so those are the things that, when I look back at my life and I think of the tough decisions I have to make daily, getting up at 2 a.m. to be with my son at 1.5, and warm up his bottle. It's I know what it is to get up at 5 a.m. because I was doing that here at Montclair State.
We look forward to seeing these habits come to fruition and the Redhawks being all in throughout their season run.